Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have swatches for you from the brand Iscream Nails. So today I have their magnetic collection. This is a set of 8 magnetic multi-chrome polishes and I am so stoked about them. I do also have a 20% off discount code. It's on the screen as well as in the description. It is an affiliate code, so if you use it, I do make a small percentage of sales. In the description as well, I will link the Iscream Nails site, I will link their Instagram page, and then I will link my Instagram page where you can see more swatches of everything from today's video. So we have 8 magnetic multi-chromes to look at today, and let's go ahead and get started.
So first we have Better Together, and this is described as having a green to purple to red magnetic shift. So what I'm going to do for all of these is build them up to opacity or near opacity before hitting it with the magnet. I do generally like to have an opaque base before I use the magnet to make sure, because with magnetic pigment, it is going to pull pigment from other places across the nail, and since this whole pigment is magnetic, you do want your base to be completely opaque beforehand. So you could definitely layer any of these over black. I'm going to do a YouTube shorts showing them all layered over black and then magnetized. But for my swatch video, I'm going to do 2 to 3 coats for each of them and then hit it with the magnet. Anywho, this one I am going to go in for 3 coats. The formula is excellent to work with, very nice and opaque here at 2 coats, but again, I'm going in for that third before using the magnet. And so here's our third coat, and this shift is absolutely beautiful. I did hold the magnet for about 10 seconds on each nail before pulling it off, just to make sure that line was nice and solid. You'll want some top coat to help keep your manicure lasting, but nothing will dry textured and removal's easy. So there are 3 coats of Better Together. So up next we have Drawn to You, and this one is described as a purple to red to gold to green shifting magnetic. Formula on this is very much the same, smooth, easy to work with. I had no running, pulling, or staining, and these are very shifty on the nail, but for some reason, I can't catch it all. So I did my last clip with like extreme lighting so you could see on these first 2 clips like how nicely opaque things are, but then I did switch up my lighting on the last coat of each polish just so you could see some of that shifty quality of the colors. So some of these do have brush strokes while they are wet, but I didn't have any of them dry with brush strokes, so you don't have to worry about sponging on your last coats or anything. They all do fade away as these dry. This is also going to dry relatively shiny all on its own. I would still recommend going in for that top coat though. It is going to protect your manicure and help it last as long as possible. So here is that third coat with the magnet effect. I really like all of these. I'm all for a magnetic multi-chrome, but I've never been a fan of just a straight multi-chrome, but I really liked all of these on their own, unmagnetized as well. So there are 3 coats of Drawn to You. So up next we have Force Field, and this one is described as having a green to blue to purple to red magnetic shift. This is, of course, there's somebody outside mowing. This is one of my top picks of the collection. The multi-chrome pigment in this one has like a larger particle pigment to it, so it kind of looks like it could be glitter on the nail, but it is just a large particle shimmer. It's not going to dry textured and it won't be difficult to remove. So this one is the kind of multi-chrome that I prefer with these larger particle pigments to it. The formula again is wonderful though, not too thick or too thin. I had no running, pooling, or staining. I did do 3 coats for this one as well. It was virtually there at 2. It was very opaque at 2, but I knew adding a third coat would help when the pigment gets pulled from magnetizing it. So look at how beautiful that purple to green shift is, or purple to teal. And I also know that a lot of multi-chromes can look the same. So my collective picture at the end of this video will show you the differences in all of them. So there are 3 coats of Force Field. So up next we have High Energy, and this one is described as a yellow to green magnetic shift. This one is really beautiful. I think I prefer this one unmagnetized. It reminds me of like a beetle, and I think it's so beautiful unmagnetized. It's gorgeous magnetized as well, especially layered over black, but it really gives like that beetle effect on the nail when it is unmagnetized, and you'll see when I change up my lighting here in a second. This one is one of the more opaque polishes in this collection, so I did stop at 2 coats before magnetizing it, and then I forgot to switch up my lighting. So here the lighting is switched up, and it really gives that like golden green effect to it, and it is beautiful. If you're super picky, you might want to go in for 3 coats, but as the magnetic line settles a little bit, I wasn't able to see my visible nail line. So there are 2 coats of high energy. So up next we have Hypnotic, and this is described as a green to gold to blue magnetic shift. The formula on this one was also really good. I had no issues with the application whatsoever. This is another one in the collection that I was happy at 2 coats with when it was in person, but looking at it close up on the nail, I definitely think I could have gone in for a better result at 3 coats. So just depending on your preferences, 2 to 3 coats for this one too. So here is that second coat, and then I'm going to magnetize it. I also really like the shift in this one. It really reminds me of Halloween, especially once you see it layered over black. It looks like a perfect Halloween polish. You'll want some top coat for protection of your manicure, but nothing will dry textured. Removal will be easy, and those brush strokes do go away as this dries. So there are 2 coats of Hypnotic. So up next we have Irresistible Me, and this one is described as a red to gold to green shifting magnetic shimmer. Man, I have such a hard time picking favorites because I also really enjoyed this one on me. It was kind of like nice, deep, vampy once it was fully built up, and it was an interesting color shift. I know there are only so many magnetic pigment or multi-chrome pigment combinations that can exist, so this isn't like an original color combination, but it was stunning. And for it to be in the magnetic formula, it is kind of less common to see, if you will. So 2 coats did bring me up to full coverage. I am going to go in for 3 before I magnetize it. I don't know why I did some at 2, some at 3, but this one I did do at 3. This one screams fall to me, and I really enjoy that. So here's our third coat of Irresistible Me, and then I'm going to hit it with that magnet. And if you don't see fall here, I don't know. Tell me what you do see, because I think this screams fall. You'll want some top coat to finish this off. Add a little bit of plumpness back to this manicure and protect it. Removal will be easy, and it does dry smooth. So there are 3 coats of Irresistible Me. So up next we have Law of Attraction, and this is described as a blue to violet to orange shift. This one was pretty opaque here on this first coat. This is another one that I was happy at 2 coats with, but you know, depending on how much you hate seeing any low spots or visible nail line, you might want to go in for 3, but I was definitely happy at 2. This one I had some brush strokes through as it was wet, but those did melt into the polish as it dried, so I didn't have any when it was a full manicure. Here's our second coat, and that does cover completely in 2 coats. I do think this one has one of the less noticeable color shifts. The deeper kind of sapphire blue to the purple is less of a dramatic shift as opposed to like the red to purple to green would be. But it is beautiful nonetheless. You'll want some top coat, just like everything else, to add some shine back to this polish, and removal is easy. So there are 2 coats of Law of Attraction. And lastly for today we have Overreaction, and this is described as a silver to red to green shifting magnetic. I didn't get any kind of silver through this, but I did get some gold at extreme angles, and I'm not sure if that's what we were looking for, but I didn't personally notice any kind of silver. The formula on this is excellent, just a little bit sheer here on this first coat, so this is one that I did go in for 3 full coats for. This is probably another top pick of the collection for me, the red to green thing. I love it at Christmas time, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. I also am a big fan of the ones that go green to purple. They remind me of the Joker, so I don't know. I really think I'm starting to come around to multi-chromes in general. So 2 coats did bring us up to pretty much full coverage, and a 3rd coat will get us there all the way. Most of these you will be able to wear at 2 coats if you're not magnetizing it. So there it is with the magnet. Again, you'll want that top coat just to bring some life and shine back to this polish. You will have no texture, and removal will be easy, and those brush strokes will melt away as the polish dries. So there are 3 coats of overreaction. And here's a look at the full collection. Like I said earlier, some can kind of blend into one another with all the different color shifts. You heard green so many times, you heard blue so many times, you heard red a couple times. So everything seems to sound and feel the same when you're watching them applied one by one. But here is a visual representation that there is a massive difference in each of the polishes. Also note that with these multi-chromes, I can only capture so many colors in one shot. So even though, you know, the first photo here and the 3rd photo here look similar, one of them also shifts to a bright pink, and then the other one shifts to a like deeper kind of sapphire blue. So there are major different color changes in all of these polishes, but I know they can sound the same. So that's why I really do like doing these comparison photos at the end. Let me know what your favorite was of these. I am a real big sucker for the green ones, but I also really liked the fall looking one that had the gold to green to red. I thought that was absolutely beautiful. And then the one that had the orange to pink was gorgeous as well. So I'm very curious what your preferences are for multi-chrome colors.
And guys, that is it. Let me know in the comments what you thought of these polishes. Let me know if you plan on picking any of them up, and let me know what your favorite was. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you'd like to see more from me, and I will talk to you again next time.